By far the biggest problem with Dragon's Rising is its airing schedule. Each season is 20 episodes long and is split into two 10-episode parts. Part 1 is released in the spring, while Part 2 is released later in the fall. This is extremely annoying because instead of us getting 1 or 2 episodes each week, we get all 10 episodes at once, making the gaps between episodes 10 and 11 painfully long. This also leaves us with only 2 days each year when new Ninjago episodes are released. But there's another bigger issue with this schedule. Since each season is split into 2 parts, LEGO feels the need to make each part distinct from one another. The January and March waves of sets are made to go with Part 1 of each season, while the June or August wave is made to go with Part 2. And with the summer wave, the ninja get new suits, and the villains, while technically being the same, get a fresh coat of paint and new style. I assume this is because the summer sets wouldn't sell as well if they had the same minifigures as the winter sets, but this leaves the show in a not so great place. After everything is said and done at the end of the year, after we've gone the entire season and all the sets to go with it, it's kind of hard to see each half of the season as one whole. There are, of course, still aspects of Part 1 that carry over into Part 2, like the gong shattering, Rod slowly worming his way inside Aaron's head, Lloyd dealing with his visions and panic attacks. And with Season 3, Rod's finding a way to forge new dragon icons, learning the fate of Aaron's parents, Nia finding Jay. So while there are still several plot threads that carry over from Part 1 to Part 2, each batch of episodes have a completely different feel and style to them. With Season 2 Part 1 is themed around the Blood Moon and has a very serious and kind of depressing feel to it, while Part 2 is very fast paced and high energy, with the tournament setting and there being a murder mystery plot in the background. And Season 3 Part 1 has a big sense of urgency and scale with Thunderfang, and Rod's trying to learn how to create new icons. With Part 2, while I've only seen the first 3 episodes, what I could tell was that it had a very unsettling and off-putting atmosphere. Now, none of these are bad. I absolutely love all 4 of these sets of episodes, except for maybe Season 3 Part 1. That one isn't as good as the others. But still, point is that each of these completed seasons don't necessarily feel like they flow very well. Now, there is one Dragon's Rising season that I haven't been mentioning, and that's Season 1. That's because, unlike Seasons 2 and 3, Season 1 actually has a consistent theme throughout all 20 episodes. The villains stay the exact same throughout it all, and the ninja even keep the same suits from episodes 1 to 20. It feels like one season and flows much better than the following seasons. And I believe that's thanks to Ninjago Core. Core was a sub-theme that started in 2022, and was meant to be a spiritual successor to Ninjago Legacy that ended the year before. Core is meant to introduce new kids into Ninjago by having simpler sets that didn't tie into any season of the show. In January of 2023, the same year Dragon's Rising Season 1 came out, Core got its second and final wave of sets before being cancelled in favor of fully dedicated Ninjago sets to DR. Because of this, the first season of DR only got 1 wave of sets, and this is why I believe both halves of the season fit together as well as they do. Each part was based around the same wave of sets. This meant the villains stayed consistent, the style of the season didn't randomly switch, and the ninja stuck to just one suit. There are some differences, like the Dragon Energy Cores aren't introduced to episode 11, Beatrix's motives do slightly change, and in Part 1 she's just hunting dragons, but after the mid-season finale, she fully tunnel visions on the ninja. But those are just small things, nothing major happens. Both parts are still focused on exploring the newly merged lands and finding old team members, as well as expanding and developing a new team. Because of this consistency, I personally think that Imperium is one of the show's best villains. I'm not talking about just Beatrix herself, I'm talking about Imperium as a whole. Since we have an entire 20 episode spin on this place, it's one of the most fleshed out villain factions we've ever gotten. We learned so much about it during the season, and that's all thanks to Core. Am I saying that Season 1 is my favorite season of Dragon's Rising? No, Season 2 is. And based on what I've heard about Season 3 Part 2, there's a very good chance that it is the worst season of the show. But Season 1 is the only season that doesn't suffer from this major flaw, and I still love it. You know, this reminds me of another show that would have seasons with 2 very distinct halves. With that, if you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you took 2 seconds to like and subscribe. Bye!